In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to convert this footage from RAW to Rec 709 and from Rec 709 to a film look using free tools in DaVinci Resolve. If you're a beginner in DaVinci Resolve, this tutorial is going to be helpful to you in so many ways. I would advise you to stay locked into the end of this tutorial because you are going to learn a whole lot of color grading techniques that you haven't heard or seen before right in DaVinci Resolve. So without wasting much of our time, we're going to start immediately. So right here we have a footage which I shot with a Blackmagic 60 camera, and I shot this on RAW 60 frames per second. So all we have to do right now is head over to our color page because that's where we do everything that has to do with color grading in DaVinci Resolve. So let's head over to our color page. So here's our color page in DaVinci Resolve, and this is called the vector scope, and this is called the node panel, and this is our viewer. So right here we have our effects, we have our timeline. You can use this to toggle our timeline on and off. So these are some of the tools you will be using for color grading DaVinci Resolve. Most of them are essential and most of them are not really essential. Firstly, all you have to do right now is convert this footage from RAW to Rec 709 first, because that's what we are supposed to do first before converting this to a film look. So for us to achieve that, we have to add some node. Let's close this. We have to add another node. So I'm going to explain this now. This first node here, we are going to convert our footage from Blackmagic to DaVinci Wide Gamma Intermediate. Why are we doing that? Because we want our color to have a wider scope. We want to work on a wider color space. This is important because if you have a big project, or if you're working on a big project, you would definitely want to have a large color space to work on without having a crushed color space. So having your timeline set to DaVinci Wide Gamma Intermediate, it will help you as a colorist to have access to so many colors in DaVinci Resolve during your color grading process. So for us to achieve that, we have to head over to the settings by clicking this setting icon here, and head over to your color management and change this timeline color space to DaVinci Wide Gamma Intermediate, and output color space to Rec 709 gamma 2.4, and hit save. So automatically our timeline has been set to DaVinci Wide Gamma. So right now we have to convert this footage from RAW to DaVinci Wide Gamma, and from DaVinci Wide Gamma to Rec 709, and then we can head over to the other process. So now quickly let's add in our color space transform. Click on your effect to bring up the effect toolbox. Go over to the search box and type color space transform. You are dragging to this first node here, and you can close this and rearrange your nodes so you can see them. Okay, now click on this first node again and click on effect. So now we're going to convert this to DaVinci Wide Gamma Intermediate. Now our input color space is going to be Blackmagic Video Gen 5. Then our input gamma is going to be Blackmagic Film Gen 5. Then our output color space is DaVinci Wide Gamma. Then our output gamma is DaVinci Intermediate. So now head over to the second node, drag in your color space transform. Then now we are going to convert from DaVinci Wide Gamma Intermediate to Rec 709. So our input color space is going to be DaVinci Wide Gamma. Output color space Rec 709. Output gamma 2.4. So this is our footage from RAW to Rec 709. Let me toggle off these nodes so you can see the before. So this is our before, these are after, these are before, these are after. So you can see how beautiful it is looking already. This is called Rec 709 footage because we only did our conversion from the RAW to Rec 709 using the DaVinci Wide Gamma color system. So now looking at your vector scope, you can see that this white stuff here is at the center of this circle, meaning that our image is actually properly white balanced. in situations where this white stuff is not at the center of this cycle, you have to make sure it is at the center of the cycle, because it signifies that your footage is properly white balanced or not. So if it is at the center of this cycle, it means that your footage is properly white balanced, and if it is not, it means your footage is not properly white balanced. So let's say, for instance, this white stuff is not at the center of the cycle. All you have to do is click on this go to your primary adjustment and click on color wheels. Click on this first color wheels icon here. Go to offset and adjust, and make sure it is at the center of the cycle. But for this footage, we don't really have to do that, because it is actually at the center of the cycle. Even if we have to do that, it's just a little adjustment that we have to make to position this properly at the center of the cycle, this way. So this is our footage in Rec 709. You can equally do some adjustments to this converted footage, and importantly, whatever you are doing as adjustments, either primary or secondary adjustment to a footage in the color space, do not add that adjustment node or those adjustment nodes after your color space transform nodes. It should be in between these two nodes right here, so you don't have your colors crushed out. So now let's say we want to make some adjustment to this footage. You can hit option S or alt S on your keyboard, and let's say we want to reduce the highlights. Okay, let's open this so you can see the value of our colors using the scopes. So we have the vector scope, we have the waveform, we have the parade, and we have the chromaticity. So the most common nodes you should be familiar with as a colorist in DaVinci Resolve are the vector scope, the parade, and the waveform, because looking at it is going to show you how your colors are actually in your footage, like the colors present in your footage and the intensity of the colors in terms of luminance, shadow, highlight, and midtones. So now let's reduce the highlight of this image by decreasing the gain, and let's look at the scopes and see how it's going to react to reduction here. So now we are in the primary adjustment already, so now click on this gain and reduce it this way by dragging down. You can see that our scopes are representing actions with values. So looking at these scopes, you will see that our highlight has been crushed. This is our highlight position, this is our midtone position, and this is our shadow position. This axis is called the input and this axis is called the output. So if we want to add some highlight to our footage, all we have to do is make sure our input is not down this way. So now let's increase this gain by pushing it upwards this way, and make sure you do not crush it by moving too upwards. So this is the ideal position for this. So now let's increase our midtone. Now let's reduce the shadow, increase the midtone, increase the highlight. Okay, let's close this. So now this is our footage with our adjustment. Then this is our footage without the adjustment, without the adjustment, with the adjustment, without the adjustment, with the adjustment. So guys, looking at this, it's not really looking bad. There are a lot of things you can do to this footage right now. Let's say you want to make the dark part of this footage appear more darker. All you have to do is go to your color wheels and reduce the value of the lift this way. You can see that the dark part of our image is actually becoming more darker. And if you want to add more highlight to this image, all you have to do is go to the gain and increase the value of this gain upwards by dragging this upwards. So you have to make sure you do not push it too much. So this is already looking good. Now go to your effects and type film look. But this is actually for those with the paid version of Resolve. drag this to your footage. Sorry, drag this. Now drag this to your node this way. Automatically to add a film look to your footage. Now you can make some adjustment to this. You can reduce the color blend in this way to reduce the intensity of this film look on your footage. Okay, you can make some adjustment to this. You can change this from cinematic to something else to give you a different feel. You can reduce the film look blend by dragging this backward. Now let's see how it looks like. So this is our footage without any conversion at all, and now this is our footage with the conversion from Blackmagic to DaVinci Resolve, and this is the conversion of footage from DaVinci Resolve to Rec 709, and this is our footage with some adjustment. Now this is our footage with the film look. This is not just all. You can still make some adjustment to the film look and make it look quite better. So I'm going to show you how to get a film look if you don't have the paid version of Resolve, so stay locked in. So you can still make some adjustment to this. You can increase or reduce the exposure. You can increase and reduce the contrast. You can reduce the highlights. You can just tweak these settings to suit your preference. Then we have the split tone in here. Split tone simply means you giving your footage two different feel. Maybe you can say, okay, let the highlights have a different feel and let the shadow have a different feel. And with this film look creator, you can actually do this with just simple steps. By increasing the amount, you're gonna start seeing a different feel on your footage. You can also change the hue angle. You can see that we are having different color feel now on our footage. You can change the position by increasing the value of the pivot or decreasing the value of the pivot this way. So now looking at our image, you're gonna see that we have two different looks on our footage. So that's for the split toning. You can also add vignette to your footage by checking this box. It's already checked. Now you can increase or decrease it this way. You can increase the size, you can reduce the size. So we still have some other settings here that you can play with and get your desired results. So now let's move straightly to those with the free version of Resolve. So let's disable this node. So if we have the free version of Resolve, this is what you're gonna do. Now click on the last CST node, that is the color space transform node. In a normal course, you are supposed to label your nodes by clicking and selecting node label. Then you can see CST1, then right click and CST2. So now this CST2, click on it and hit option S or Alt S on your keyboard. Now go to effect and type in color space transform. So we are converting this from Rec 709 to Cineon film log. So with the Cineon film log, you can actually add a preset film look to your footage using the lookup tables in DaVinci Resolve. So type in color space transform over here, drag it to your node and convert this from Rec 709 Rec 709 again, then Cineon film log. Cineon film log. So now add another node by hitting Alt S or Option S on your keyboard. Then now go to your lookup tables, that is your LUTs, click it and head over to film looks and select any look that suits your preference. So you can drag this to your node and you can close this by hitting this icon again. Now you can make some adjustments to fine-tune your results. So this is for those with the free version of Resolve. There are so many other techniques that you can use to create a film look on your footage even without using this method. I think this is one of the best methods to use. If you feel like you have other methods to use to create some film looks, please don't hesitate to drop that in the comment section so that we can actually learn together. So this is actually one of the methods you can use if you have the free version of Resolve. But if you have the paid version of Resolve, you don't have to go through this process. You just have to use the film creator tool, which is this, to get your film look with just a single node. But if you don't have the paid version of Resolve, all you have to do is use this method, which I have shown you right here. And make sure you do this, because if you do not do this and maybe you just add in the film look directly to your footage, it's not going to come out very well. It's going to come out this way or even something worse than this. So make sure you convert this from Rec 709 to Cineon film look before adding your film look to your footage. Now you can adjust this to make sure it is looking better and not that blown out by reducing the gain, which is the highlights, and reducing the mid-tones this way. And you can also reduce the shadow to make it look this cool. If you want to isolate some colors in your footage, maybe you want to reduce the blue on your footage or the cyan on your footage. So for instance, let's reduce the blue on this footage. All you have to do is head over to the color slice tool by hitting this icon here, and now head over to the blue section and reduce this value this way. You can see that our blue is already gone already, but if you want to increase the value of the blue, then you take it upwards. Looking at your vector scope, you can see that it is actually coming out from this point over here, showing that there is an increment in the value of the blue. So if you reduce this value too, you're gonna see that it's moving backwards to the center of the cycle this way. So this is the same way you can adjust some other colors if you have other colors on your footage that you really want to isolate or you want to remove. So this method also helps when you're trying to increase the saturation of your footage in DaVinci Resolve when doing your color grading. Instead of using the normal saturation that we have in the primary adjustment, which is this over here, you can see that when you use this saturation, it is not only doing its work, but it is actually messing up the colors by increasing the luminance and intensity of the colors. But if you want to get a perfect result, all you have to do is use the color slice tool and head over to saturation and increase it this way, and then you have a better result than the other method. So guys, these are actually some techniques that will really help you in your color grading process. So just like I said earlier, when you are doing your color grading in DaVinci Resolve, make sure you keep your eye on the scopes, because judging with your physical eyes, you're gonna be deceived, because the eyes actually adapt to colors so quick. For instance, if you are color grading a footage in DaVinci Resolve and you are just using your eyes to monitor your colors, you will not get exact results, because while looking at it, you will feel like okay, you're getting a good result, but at the end of the day, or when you have sent this footage out to your client or someone, the person might be seeing that the colors are way too saturated or your footage is looking so blown out. But when you're looking at your scope, you definitely have a better result because you are working with the scopes. So if you are new on color grading in DaVinci Resolve and you don't really understand scopes, I'm going to drop a video next week which I'll be explaining how scopes can be used to get better results in DaVinci Resolve as a colorist. If this video was helpful to you in some way, please subscribe to my channel, like this video, share and drop a comment in the comment section.